here. All right, share the screen. Mm. All right. All right. The first question was to list the name or to display the name of a book whose ID is given. So, and it had to be issued with command 13. So what you need to do is create a new command, get book title or some such thing, and that is the first thing. Then let me go ahead and copy this stuff. You need to put this in the help menu. Oh, if you make this 13, you should make save 14 and help 15. And you need to show this in the menu. So you need to add a new, oh, my print the title of the book. That is the help screen. And now you need to add a new command to rather use this new command in the loop. So get book title, and I need a new method. So I'm going to call it get book title. And I don't have it declared, so I'm getting an error. So I'm going to put that new method here, get book title. And I need some code here. The easiest way of accomplishing the task is to go ahead and grab the code from one of these other methods. That will be I'll save some typing that way. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm creating a request with the book ID, and the result is I need to call the library method. So I need a method in the library. Let me call it the same thing, get book title. So I need to create that get book title, and it is going to be an error here. But I will add that method in a few minutes. And here I need to examine the result, get result code equals result dot operation completed. Then I'm going to write system dot out dot println, and the title of the book with the ID I could get it from result or request. It doesn't really matter much, but I'm going to just use the result dot get book book ID is, and I get, so dot get book title. If the result is not operation completed, I will print an error message. System.out.println the book you are interested in does not exist. And that is the method. And I need to add this method in library. So I'm going to go there and the library source file. And all I need to do is go to the very end and add this new method, public void request. Again, it is probably a good idea to grab some code from one of these other. So maybe I'll grab a few lines from one of these other methods and then copy and paste. And I create a new request, sorry, a result. And then I grab the book ID from the request and search in the catalog. If the book is null, I set book not found, and this should be returning a result, right? And so return result, and I copy the book fields, and then result.set result code result dot operation completed and return the result. And that will be the answer for the first question. Let's look at the second question. Again, my answer is in one of these projects, but I can't find it now. So I'm going to do at least a little bit of the coding. So let me go ahead and grab the question. I don't know why I'm not getting it. Oh, here. Okay. Oh, I have a copy here, so I can't open import it. So I'm going to cancel this and see where it is. Exam 2, question 2. This is probably it. Okay, I have this order class with a few types. So what I need to do is create subclasses of this, because it has all these conditionals here. You need to replace these conditionals with polymorphism. So I will show one class. The others are going to be pretty much very similar. And I will post a solution later tonight, hopefully. So let me go ahead and create one of the classes. So okay. And I'm going to say this is small order. And the order class needs to be edited. I don't need a type anymore. I need to delete all these fields, and no type here. Delete that. Then compute days. I will make that abstract, and I will get rid of the body, and I will make this class abstract. Okay. Let me take a look at days to shipping. I forgot to put an access specify here. I'm going to make it protected. And so that would essentially be the source code for the superclass. And the subclass would be small order, and I need to extend order. And I don't need any fields here, but I do need this constructor. And I will simply call super ID, comma, that should I have spelling mistakes. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to call compute days with quantity, and I don't need any type checking. I'm going to get rid of that. And I only have small items handled here, so I'm going to get rid of all this. Compute days. I don't need any of these methods. I should delete all those things. So that will be the, I still have a problem here. I didn't, I wonder why. Oh, I didn't save this. That is the reason. Okay, that's the code. Okay. As I said, I will post the solution for this a little later. Any questions? Any questions, anybody? Okay, then let's get out of that. Let's take a quick look at the multiple choice part of this exam. Okay, I'm not going to go over this in great detail, but we'll take a look at the questions and see which of the following should not be part of a use case. You can't have a reference to a Java data structure, obviously. Which of the following elements of use cases are used to determine the conceptual classes? They are nouns. Then true of sequence diagrams. They can be used to determine the functionalities of the classes. They can be used to get information about some of the fields of some of the classes. So both are true, both are possible.
Professor, can you share your screen?
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. That's a good idea, right? Yeah, sorry about that. So let's start from the beginning. What should not be a part of a use case? You can't have implementation related stuff or even design related stuff. So it should be B. Then nouns are used to determine the conceptual classes. Then sequence diagrams can be used to determine the functionalities, and then you can also get information about some of the fields. For example, if you have a constructor call, you know those fields are going to be there, right? The parameters. In sequence diagrams, how do we show that an object is destroyed with an X on that object? Is a reasonable increase cohesion and decrease coupling is the way to go. Well, we have a number of questions on refactoring. If you have a very long method with two blocks that are very different, and there is documentation to explain the boundary, I mean, to see what one of these blocks is doing, then what you should do is you should extract the method. Then if you have a small method which is quite cohesive and it uses only fields of this class, then you just leave it alone. If you have a very long method and they have two blocks that are very different functionalities, and one of these blocks is using fields and methods of some other class, then you should move that method to the other class. This is like the compute find method, it should be moved to the book class. This also should be moved to the other class because it is using fields of method of class B. And if A and B are collection classes with A storing objects of class aircraft and B storing objects of class airport, and the methods in A and B are very similar, then you can use generics to have a common collection class from which you inherit into two separate collection classes. That would be the approach. If A dot equals B is true, then A and B should produce the same hash code. And B dot equals A should also be true. So this is the right thing. I mean, here B dot A should evaluate to true. And A dot equals B, I just said the answer to this one. If A dot equals B is true, then they should produce the same hash code. So this is the right answer. Only if A dot hash code is equal to B dot hash code. Just because two objects produce the same hash code doesn't mean that they should be equal. So this is the right answer. This should have been matchable. I wrote it. The matchable interface is not a JDK interface. It is a custom interface. Before you attempt refactoring, you should have a good test suite so that even after you make the changes, you can use this test suite to see whether your system still works. Here, T extends matchable K means T implements the interface matchable K. That is the meaning of this.
Professor.
Yeah.
Are you going to change it so we can actually see what we got for the?
Oh, is it not it is not accessible? Okay, I will go ahead and give me a second. Let me go ahead and make that accessible to you right now. I am never sure about this business. I thought exams would be accessible all the time, but I'm probably not. I have that feeling, but okay, exam 2, multiple choice. Let me. Oh, you can't see the answers. That is the problem. Okay. You're able to access it probably, but not see the answers. Yeah, that is true. Okay. No, let me also make it. Let me also change all these things so that there is no doubt. Oh, this is not yet exported. Okay. I didn't know that I hadn't exported this. This was not graded, right? Or was it?
It's not on the grade book yet, no.
Oh, that was the problem. Okay. I thought I had set this flag, but I did not. Okay. Exam 2 multiple choice. Let me go ahead and grade this right now. Yeah, it should be in the grade book now. Okay. All right. Yeah, it should be viewable now. Okay. Yeah, here. I think we were here. Book and periodical, both are subclasses of loanable item. Then the visitor pattern has the drawback that it's not possible to add new classes to the hierarchy very easily. In the revised version, the loanable item has the ID and title. So title and ID, but no authors. So that is the right answer. The visitor pattern has been implemented. Now, if you want to add new functionality, then you need a new class to implement that functionality. The interface is already available. There is already a hierarchy, et cetera, et cetera. So assuming standard naming conventions in the visitor pattern, the accept method is in the visitee. No, the accept method is in the hierarchy, and the visit method is in the visitee. So this is the accept, the visit method of the visitor. No, the accept method in a visitor. No, the visit method of the visitee. No, I'm wondering if there is a mistake in this question now. The accept method in a visitee calls the visit method of the visitee means the one who visits, right? No, the one who is visited. Visitee is the hierarchy, so it should be this one. The accept method calls the visit method of the visitor, right? Then here, the number of states is 4. The number of events is 3. And here we have a toothbrush with a single button, which would both start and stop spinning, and there is a temporary pause after 2 minutes of spinning. Then pressing of the button is an event. The spinning of the brush is a state, and the signal generated after 2 minutes is an event. Okay. So that is that. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the next group project. The first group project is due tomorrow, and the second group project is due on the 29th. So let me see if I can open it up here. All right, this is group project 2 handout. This is based on the FSM model, which we are covering this week, and did a little bit of it last week too. And what you need to do is create a controller for a security system for a home. So you should read the handout to see how a security system works. I will spend maybe 5 minutes explaining this. Suppose a home is unoccupied and you are worried about burglars, then you can install a security system. What you do is you press this away button when you are going out. So nobody is home, you press this away button, you leave. And if anybody comes in, then the system generates a signal, and there is a warning period for about a minute, during which you need to enter a passcode. In this system, the passcode is always 1234. So in this case, you should enter 1234 and the alarm will go off. Or rather, the warning will go off. But if you don't enter that in 1 minute, then the security is breached and you have a very noisy alarm go off, like that you hear from a siren, that you hear from an ambulance or a fire truck. And if there is a monitoring company, they would probably call the police. That is how it works. So this is used to enter the password. And we have 3 doors in the house, and they are called zones in this assignment. So zone 1, zone 2, zone 3 means the 3 doors. If you have this checked, it is an indication that that door is closed. So if this is unchecked, the door is open. If any one of the doors is open, then you cannot set the alarm. All of them have to be closed before you can press away. And once you are away, once you have pressed away and a minute elapses, it takes a minute for you to, for the alarm to be actually active. Till then, it is just a waiting period. And after 1 minute, if any one of the doors is opened, or if there is motion within the house, the alarm goes off. Alarm goes off meaning there is a warning period for about a minute, during which you can enter the password. The same thing or a similar thing can be done for setting the alarm maybe at night. You are going to bed and you are worried about burglars at night. So what you do is you press the stay button. Again, you should have all these 3 doors closed. The zones should be ready, and you press the stay button. And then the system works in the following way. If any one of these doors is opened, the security is considered breached right away. There is no warning period or anything of that kind. But if there is movement within the house, there is no alarm. Because, I mean, obviously it makes sense. If you are inside the house, you would like to move around and you don't want the alarm to go off. And the next morning you come and you would like to cancel the alarm, you would press the cancel button and enter the password. Then the alarm is reset, or the correct terminology is arming and disarming. So the system is disarmed at that point. So this is what you need to implement. Usually groups have gotten much better grades with the second group project than the first, because one reason is the biggest hurdle here is to get the state transition table or diagram correct. Once you get that correct, the actual process of constructing the system itself is not terribly hard. You can follow the implementation of the microwave, the second version, class project 2 version 2, and that is a very, very good starting point for getting the whole thing right. You should try to minimize conditionals to the extent possible. There will still be some conditionals left in this particular case, in this particular what do you call it, case study. So unlike the microwave, which has almost no conditionals, you will have a few conditionals in this particular implementation, but you should try to get rid of as many conditionals as you can. You can, if you wish, create this interface as I did using FXML, and then the rest of the whole project should be done in pure Java, okay? All the event handling, all the states, everything should be in Java. The other thing is the waiting period. I mean, after you set the alarm, you have a short period during which the system is waiting for you to get out or do whatever you want, you know. And that, instead of being 1 minute, make it like 10 seconds. Otherwise, the testing time is going to be just too long. I mean, you don't want to wait for 1 minute for the system to arm itself. So reduce those times. The biggest advice that I can give you regarding this group project is work on your state transition table or state transition diagram. That is the most important thing. If you get that wrong, the system is going to be completely wrong. Or you will find that you have a very messy system to implement. If you have too few states, you will find that you have lots and lots of conditionals, and the system becomes very hard to track. You'll have lots of bugs. If you have more states, it may be an indication, I mean, more states than necessary. It may be because you have a bug, or it may be because you have duplicate states. Duplicate states don't really harm anything, but they're just wasted resources, nothing else. You need to submit the state transition table and state transition diagram, but only a subset of the state transition diagram. So read this part. I don't need any sequence diagrams. You have already drawn lots of sequence diagrams for the first project. I don't want you to go through that exercise again, but I want a properly documented implementation of the entire functionality.
A question on the transition diagram and not having all of the different events. should we still have the arrows, or do you want like those cut away too?
When I want all the states and the arrows for these
Just those arrows?
arrows corresponding to these situations. When these buttons are pressed, what happens?
Okay.
So every state should be there. There may be some states which are just sitting there without having anything coming in or going out. You may find that. I don't know for sure, but that might happen. But I still want those states there. That is very easy to draw, because just rounded corner rectangles, nothing else. The other thing I wanted to say before I forget is, if anybody is interested in forming a new group, leaving the current group, or even kicking somebody out. I hope that doesn't happen. But anyway, if anything, any reorganization will be entertained, but I want to wait until you have submitted your first group project. That is the only thing. So I don't want to do any reorganization tonight. Okay. But if you have an interest, let me know soon, after the deadline for this group project. Any questions?
When we have is it, I kind of went over the project and I have a state, and then if you press a button, it goes to a different state, which is, you have
those
embed.
things are, yeah, I mean, we have to talk offline. I don't want, that is part of the problem. So I don't want to discuss that publicly.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think you're thinking along the right lines. Anything else? Once again, let me emphasize, don't jump to coding. That is not going to be your biggest bottleneck. Get the state transition table correct. Get the states correct. Get the events correct. If you get those two correct, it is an automatic indication that you know what those entries are going to be. So for that, you have to clearly understand what a state is and what an event is, and don't start coding until you get the state transition table all taken care of. Any questions? All right, then, if there are no questions, let me go ahead and make the quiz available for tonight. You need to download class project 2 version 2. All the questions in tonight's class exercise are based on that code. So you need to get that downloaded. You need to open that. So
you said the version 2?
Correct. Class project 2 version 2. And it is the group, the class exercise is available to you. I'm going to make create the breakout rooms. So as usual, this will take a while.
Professor, question
Yes.
to project 1. For the project 1, do we only need to submit a single PDF, or could we submit like one PDF for the use case, one for the sequence diagram, and so on?
One PDF should be fine.
So just like one PDF and then one Java.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm in the process of creating the breakout rooms. That's why I'm keeping quiet. Oh, finally got it. All right. Rose, I have made you a co-host.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. I'll take a short break and come back in a minute.